Hey guys, it's Andres with Camp K9 Training. Today I'm going to show you about the ET300, and I'm going to show you kind of the crash course that I give all my clients, how to turn it on, what we can do with it, the settings, etc., what comes in the box. So this is the box that you guys will essentially get. ET300 from Ecollar Technologies. You can order it from me directly, or you can order it from them. This one is specifically is a half-a-mile range remote. They have a 3/4 of a mile remote, and they also have a 1 mile. In the remote, it's going to come pretty standard. You're going to have a charger that I currently have my remote charging with. You're going to have the remote the unit that goes on the dog, and then obviously you have the actual remote. You're also going to have extra tips. So these come with already a standard tips, but you can change them so that if you have a long hair dog, a German Shepherd, a Husky, a Malamute, you can change the tips so that you can get better contact point. Because sometimes dogs will have, especially like Zoe, my Siberian Husky, will have longer fur, and we want to be able to get contact to the skin. So very important, if you have a longer hair dog, make sure you're changing those tips. Now some dogs are prone to these tips, and they will have sores after a while, so you can contact Ecollar Technologies or me, and you can get hypoallergenic tips. And hypoallergenic tips are going to look something like this, where they're just aluminum, and they're not going to have any sort of plastic or anything on them. So those will help as well. Now, to give you guys a quick crash course on the remote. Again, these remotes are half-a-mile range, and they are waterproof, right? What makes them waterproof is that we have a rubber seal here. So when we're charging, this is actually the charging port, so make sure that when you're done charging, you put the rubber seal back in, because that's what makes it waterproof, right? If the rubber seal is out and the pup goes swimming, it's not going to hurt him in any way, but it will damage the unit. Ecollar offers a 1-year warranty. If it gets wet, then obviously you're going to avoid that warranty, right? Now, the remote as well will also have a rubber seal, right? So I'm going to remove this box here so we have a little bit more space to work with everything else. Then I'm going to show you everything. So the remote will also have a rubber seal. You can lift this up, charge it, and then back in to seal it. This unit will actually float, and it's also waterproof, right? This is waterproof, but it will not float. So now to turn the unit on, right, you have a red dot here, and you're also going to have a red dot here. And there's magnets inside of these. So once you guys touch these, it's gonna turn this on, which is gonna be cued by the green color. So once I touch these together, it turns green. So that means this unit is now on. Now again, if I touch red to red, it's going to turn red. So then I just turn this unit on and off, right? Now for me to turn the remote on and off, there is an on and off switch, which is the L. So if I press and hold for 3 seconds, it's going to turn the remote on. If I press and hold that same L button and I press and hold for 3 seconds, it's going to turn the unit off. Right. So again, press and hold this unit to turn the remote on, red to red to turn the collar on, and now these are linked, right? This is a ET300, but it can be paired to 2 remotes later on, and we can convert it to an ET302, which is a 2-dock system, and I'll show you how to do that in a separate video. For right now, I'm going to show you just how to work the initial unit. Now the remote is right-hander user friendly, so I'm going to hold this on my right hand. That's why I walk all dogs on my left. That being said, when I show people how to hold the remote, I don't want them to hold it flat on their palm, because it's going to make it really hard to turn that wheel. I want you to almost hold it sideways and then just close your hand, right? And it's going to allow you to turn the wheel with your thumb and your index, and that's going to be wrapped around the antenna. So then we can go from 0, and we can start dialing it up all the way to high and all the way back down. And the high is obviously going to be at 100. We want both M and C to be on here, which is going to be momentary and continuous. If for whatever reason these switch, there's an M and C button right next to the power button. So if I press that, it's going to have M. If I press it again, it's going to go to C. And if I press it again, it's going to go to M and C. And that's where we want it to be, right? That's how I train all my clients to have the remote set up. Because this is a one dog unit, it doesn't matter whether you press red or black. Both are going to issue informational or correctional level, right? So if we turn the dial up, doesn't matter to what level, I can press red and you can see that we're giving a correction or information, or I can press black and it's giving information or correction. So again, it doesn't matter which one I press, it's going to issue the same correction as long as we're both on M and C, right? Now, on the other side, we have a T button. Right? This T button is a tone button. This is also what I like to call the nagging mom button, right? A lot of people will end up utilizing the tone button to give a warning beep. I don't want to warn my dog to do anything, to stop doing something. I want to be able to give him information. So that's why we utilize all 100 levels in the remote. I can give you an information, I can remind you that way, and then if need be, I can give you a correction. But I don't want to sit there and say, stop what you're doing, don't go over there, come back, because it's just going to become annoying and the dog's going to get desensitized. The only time I use this button is to make sure that the units are paired. So I'm going to unplug it from the charger in the morning. I'm going to hit red dot to red dot. I'm going to turn the remote on. Is it paired? Perfect, it's paired. If it's not paired, then you're going to press the button and you're not going to hear anything. So having these units paired and having this tone button allows you to make sure that the units are paired. Everything else comes from the other two sides, right? The last feature that we'll talk about is that same button that you use to turn on and off. There's also a light. So if you press it once, you're going to have a blinking LED. If you press it twice, you're going to have a solid LED. And a third time, we'll turn it off. So this becomes really, really nice if you're walking at night. If your dog's out in the backyard, you want to figure out where he is. You're able to kind of just click once, click twice for solid, click 3 times to turn it off, and you're able to find out where your dog is. The battery life on this is a day and a half. What I tell clients is charge it every night so that it's ready every morning, right? And then you're gonna see that you have a green light here and you also have a green light here. That means that we have a full battery level, right? If you have an orange light, if you have a red light, that means low or no battery level. So as long as you're charging every night, then you're gonna have good battery life for the day. The biggest thing I tell my clients with this is make sure you don't take this off too soon. My dogs at this point are almost 2 years old and they're still wearing it from the time they come out of the crate to the moment they go to bed at night. The biggest mistake I see people make is they take the unit off too soon because their dog is behaving great and they don't need the unit, right? Stay consistent, guys. It's extremely important to be able to stay consistent long enough to build these habits, right? There's no point of me putting this collar on and then this being in the kitchen, in the living room, in the car, because we're not going to do anything. Our timing is way off, right? Also, there's no point in putting this on if it's dead, if it's not charged, if it's not paired. So make sure you're charging it, make sure you're putting it on, make sure this is with you and you take it at all times. And the more consistent you stay, the better habits you're building and the sooner you can have better communication with your dog. So that's my crash course on the remote. I'll be doing more videos on these, but this is just to get you guys accustomed to kind of how to utilize it, how to turn it on, how to program it, etc. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.